Hello and welcome to Kaz English, your ultimate destination for mastering the English language. Whether you're a beginner or looking to polish your skills, we've got you covered with engaging lessons and practical tips. Don't forget to visit our website at kazap.uk, that's kaz.app.uk, for exclusive resources and additional learning tools to help you succeed. Let's dive into today's lesson and take your English to the next level.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? Today we're taking a look at a dialogue all about healthy eating habits. How to talk about improving your diet in English.
Yeah, it's a topic we can all relate to, right?
Totally. And this dialogue, it's between Mark and Helen. It gives us a glimpse into how native English speakers actually talk about this stuff.
Exactly. It's like eavesdropping on a real conversation. You pick up so many natural phrases and expressions.
So should we jump right in?
Let's do it.
All right, so the dialogue starts with Helen noticing that Mark has lost weight. She says, "Mark, you've lost weight. What's your secret?" Now, that's a phrase you'll hear a lot
Oh, all the time.
in casual conversation.
It's a friendly way to express surprise and, kind of ask for advice.
Exactly. It's not like Helen really expects Mark to have some magical secret formula.
Right.
It's more about showing interest and opening up a conversation about healthy habits.
Exactly.
And notice how Mark responds. He doesn't just say like, "Oh, I eat less," or something like that.
He gives more details, right?
Yeah, he gave a more detailed answer. He says, "I've been following a balanced meal plan with portion control." And right away, boom, key vocabulary.
There it is. The good stuff.
That's really helpful for talking about diet and health in English.
Yeah, those are like the building blocks of any conversation about healthy eating.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So balanced meal plan, what does that even mean?
Well, it means you're eating a variety of foods, from different food groups, fruits, veggies, proteins, and carbohydrates, getting a little bit of everything.
So not just like surviving on pizza.
Not just pizza, no. Variety is key. And then portion control. That's all about being mindful of how much you're eating. Instead of piling your plate high, you're choosing reasonable amounts.
Makes sense. These are great phrases, honestly.
Right. Add them to your vocabulary arsenal.
Especially if you want to, talk about health and fitness in English.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, learning the words is just the first step. The real magic, it happens when you use them in real conversations, like this dialogue. It shows us how these phrases fit into everyday speech.
Okay, so Helen, she's obviously intrigued by Mark's success. She asks, "Could you share some tips?" Another great phrase, by the way. Super versatile.
Oh, yeah. You can use it to ask for advice on almost anything. Cooking, learning a new skill, anything.
And it's polite, right?
Very polite and direct. It's basically saying, hey, I'm interested in what you're doing. Tell me more.
Exactly. And Mark, he gives specific examples of what he's changed. He says, "I've replaced processed snacks with nutritious alternatives." Boom, more vocabulary.
More good stuff.
Let's break those down. Processed snacks first. What are we talking about here?
Those tempting treats that are often, high in sugar, salt, unhealthy fats, chips, cookies, candy bars. Easy to grab on the go, but not the best for our bodies.
The stuff we all love, but know we shouldn't eat too much of.
Exactly. And then nutritious alternatives. These are the foods that are packed with vitamins, minerals, the good stuff our bodies actually need. Fruits, veggies, nuts, seeds, that kind of thing.
The things that give us energy and make us feel good.
Exactly.
And Helen's reaction is perfect. She says, "That sounds manageable." I love that.
It's a great response.
Because it shows that she's genuinely interested and thinks, okay, I could actually do this.
Yeah, she's open to making changes.
It's a great phrase to use when someone gives you a suggestion that you're actually willing to try.
Yeah.
It expresses a positive attitude.
Exactly. It shows you're on board.
Okay, so they go a little deeper into Mark's diet.
Yeah.
Helen asks, "What do you eat for breakfast?" A classic question.
Always got to know the breakfast routine.
Right, when you're trying to get specific tips.
Absolutely. And Mark's answer, it gives us even more vocabulary. He says, usually Greek yogurt with berries and a protein smoothie. Now, depending on your English level, some of these words might be new.
Yeah, let's go through them.
So, Greek yogurt, it's thicker and higher in protein than regular yogurt. Berries, those are small, juicy fruits like strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. And a protein smoothie, that's a blended drink, often includes fruits, veggies, protein powder.
Even if you've heard these words before, like seeing them used in context really helps
Oh, like clicks, yeah.
solidify their meaning.
Absolutely. It's like, aha, now I know how to use that word in a sentence.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to go beyond just memorizing lists of words. You need to see how they're used, in real situations.
That's how you build real fluency.
Right, real fluency, not just textbook knowledge.
Exactly.
Okay, so next, Helen asks a question that anyone starting a new diet wants to know. How long did it take to see results? I mean, I'm curious too.
Right. Spill the beans, Mark. And his answer, it introduces another crucial word, consistent. He says, about a month of consistent eating habits showed visible changes.
Consistent. Okay.
Consistent means doing something regularly without giving up.
Which, honestly, can be the hardest part.
Oh, absolutely. Starting is easy. Keeping it going, that's the challenge.
It's so true. It's easy to be gung-ho at the beginning, but then life happens.
Life happens, yeah. But that's where the real magic is. Sticking with it, being consistent, that's when you see those changes.
So it's not about being perfect. It's about...
It's about showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it.
And think about it, this idea of consistency, it applies to so much more than just diet. Learning English, building any skill, anything you want to achieve.
It's a universal principle for success, really.
So true. And it's all wrapped up in this one simple dialogue about healthy eating. It's amazing how much you can learn.
It is. And it makes you wonder what other everyday scenarios could be like these little English lessons in disguise.
Right. What if you had access to a whole library of these dialogues covering tons of topics?
Well, guess what? You do.
Oh, tell me more.
That's where a program like Kaz English comes in.
Kazing.
Yeah. It focuses on exactly this kind of learning, building fluency through real conversations, like the one we've been looking at.
So it's not just grammar rules and vocabulary lists.
Not at all. It's about seeing how English is actually used in different situations. They've got dialogues on everything from ordering food to asking for directions to talking about your hobbies, you name it.
Sounds pretty comprehensive.
Yeah.
And is it for all levels?
Yeah, from beginners to more advanced learners. And the best part,
What's the best part?
it's like having a personal English tutor in your pocket. They've got tools to practice pronunciation, track your progress, all that good stuff.
So if you're looking for a fun and effective way to improve your conversational English...
Kaz English might be just what you need.
Now, before we dive into the vocabulary review and those all-important comprehension questions...
Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back with part 2 of our deep dive. Welcome back to our deep dive. We've been unpacking this dialogue all about healthy eating, and we've already found some pretty useful vocabulary, some conversational phrases, but now it's time to really make sure we've got it all down.
That's right. Time to solidify our understanding.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do a little vocabulary review, make sure those keywords are locked in, and then we'll tackle those comprehension questions, which are really designed to test how well we understand what's going on in the conversation.
Exactly. Make sure we're not just skimming the surface. We're really absorbing the good stuff.
So let's start with those key vocabulary words, the ones we heard Mark and Helen using. These are words you'll hear all the time when people are talking about diet, health, all that good stuff.
The essentials, yeah.
So first up, we have balanced meal plan. Now, what does that mean?
Well, it's all about variety. Making sure you're getting all the nutrients your body needs.
Yeah, okay, so not just eating pizza every day.
No, not just pizza, although pizza is delicious. But a balanced meal plan, it's not about restricting yourself or cutting out entire food groups. It's about finding that healthy balance.
Right, balance. Makes sense. So, how would you explain that, visually? How do you picture a balanced meal?
Ooh, I like that. Okay, imagine your plate, right? It's divided into sections. Maybe you've got a portion of lean protein like chicken or fish, then a good serving of veggies, some broccoli, some carrots, all those colorful things.
Getting those colors in.
Exactly. And then a portion of whole grains like brown rice or quinoa. So it's like building this colorful puzzle on your plate.
I love that. It's like a little artwork, your balanced meal.
Exactly. And a balanced meal plan isn't just about that one meal. It's about making healthy choices throughout the whole day.
So grabbing an apple for a snack instead of a bag of chips.
Exactly. That's contributing to your balanced meal plan.
Okay, and then we had portion control. This could be a tricky one.
Yeah, it's not always easy. But it's not about feeling deprived, It's about being mindful. It's about enjoying your favorite foods, absolutely, but in reasonable amounts.
So it's like listening to your body and recognizing when you're actually full.
That's a great way to put it. And sometimes little tricks can help, like using smaller plates, smaller bowls.
That's actually smart. You trick your brain into thinking you're eating more than you are.
Exactly. It's all about those little strategies. Okay, moving on to the fun stuff. Processed snacks. We all have our weaknesses, right?
Oh, yeah. That's
But it's important to know what's in them and how they can affect our health.
because they're often loaded with sugar, unhealthy fats, all that stuff that tastes great but isn't doing us any favors in the long run.
Exactly. They might give you a quick burst of energy, but then you just crash later. And they can make you crave even more junk food. It's a vicious cycle.
So what's the alternative?
Well, that's where those nutritious alternatives come in, the good stuff. Remember, these are the foods that fuel our bodies with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, all those things that make us feel our best.
Give me some examples. What are we swapping those potato chips for?
Okay, so instead of that bag of chips, maybe you grab a handful of almonds or some baby carrots with hummus.
Oh, I love hummus.
Right. And if you're craving something sweet, a piece of fruit, or even a small square of dark chocolate, those little swaps can make a big difference.
They really can. Okay, and our final vocab word, a big one, consistent. We talked about how important this is, not just for diet, but for anything you want to achieve.
It's the key to success in any area of life, but it can be tough.
Oh, definitely. Consistency is all about doing something regularly without giving up. But how do you actually do that?
Well, it's not about being perfect. It's about making those healthy choices most of the time, even when you don't feel like it.
So like brushing your teeth every day, right? You don't just skip a day because you're tired.
Exactly. You know it's good for you in the long run, so you make it a habit.
And it's the same with diet, exercise, anything really.
Exactly. Consistency over time, that's where you see the real results.
Okay, so we've got our vocabulary down. Now it's time to test our understanding. Are you ready for those comprehension questions?
Bring them on.
All right, here we go. First question. What did Mark replace processed snacks with? Think back to that part of the dialogue where Mark explains his healthy eating habits.
And remember, we've got those options to guide us. A, fast food. B, nutritious alternatives. C, chocolate bars. Or D, energy drinks. What do you think?
Take a moment to think about it. What makes the most sense? Okay, let's break it down. Fast food, definitely not a healthy swap. Chocolate bars, energy drinks, those are still in the tempting but not so good for you category. So the answer is,
B, nutritious alternatives.
that's it. He swapped those unhealthy snacks for healthier options that give his body the fuel it needs.
Exactly. And these comprehension questions, they make you really think about what you're hearing.
They're like little puzzles. Okay, next one. What does Mark have for breakfast? Think back to that part of the conversation where he describes his morning routine.
We've got our options again. A, cereal and milk. B, toast and eggs. C, Greek yogurt with berries and a protein smoothie. Or D, oatmeal.
What sounds the most like Mark and his healthy lifestyle? Remember those details. They paint a picture of his personality, his approach to health.
And if you were paying close attention, the answer should be pretty clear.
It's C, Greek yogurt with berries and a protein smoothie. He specifically mentioned this as his go-to breakfast. It's a great example of a balanced, nutritious meal to start the day.
Exactly. And notice how those specific details, the Greek yogurt, the berries, the smoothie, they make it much more memorable than just saying healthy breakfast.
Okay, last question. How long did it take for Mark to see visible changes? This goes back to that key word we talked about. That's super important for any kind of progress.
Consistency. He talked about how sticking with those healthy eating habits led to noticeable results. But how long did it take?
All right, options. A, 1 week. B, 2 weeks. C, 1 month. D, 3 months. Which one feels right? Remember, consistency isn't about instant results. It's about gradual changes over time.
And the answer that reflects that idea is
C, 1 month. He said it took about a month of consistent effort to see those visible changes.
which reminds us that real progress takes time, dedication. It's not about quick fixes. It's about showing up, doing the work, day after day.
And that brings us back to Kaz English, this program that's designed to help you achieve your English learning goals through consistent practice.
Exactly. They understand that real fluency comes from immersing yourself in real-life situations, real conversations. That's why they offer that library of diverse dialogues, all kinds of topics, so you can find something you're actually interested in.
And it's not just about understanding. They give you opportunities to practice speaking, writing, even pronunciation.
It's a well-rounded approach, you know? It hits all the key areas.
So if you're ready to level up your English skills,
Kaz English might be just the thing you need. Welcome back, everyone. For this last part of our deep dive, we're going to kind of zoom out a bit.
zoom out. What do you mean?
Well, We've really dissected this dialogue, right? We've looked at the vocab, we've tested our understanding, but now I want to think about what this conversation, what it shows us about learning English effectively.
I like that. So we're going meta learning.
Exactly. So think about how the conversation happened, right? It started with Helen just observing something, being curious. She noticed Mark lost weight and wanted to know more.
That's so natural, right? We all do that. We see something interesting, we want to learn more.
Exactly. And that natural curiosity, that's a powerful tool for language learning.
So instead of just memorizing boring lists of words,
Right. You find things that genuinely interest you.
you get curious, you ask questions.
Exactly. It makes the process way more engaging. What are you passionate about? What do you love talking about in your native language? Could you have those same conversations in English?
Ooh, that's a good challenge. I have to really push myself to use new vocab, new phrases,
Exactly. And here's the thing. You don't need perfect grammar, a massive vocabulary to start having those conversations.
That's good to hear because sometimes I get so stuck on trying to be perfect.
Oh, I totally get it. It's so common. We want to sound flawless, but the truth is making mistakes is part of the process. It's how we learn.
So embrace those mistakes. Don't be afraid to make them.
Exactly. They're like stepping stones leading you to fluency.
Okay, I like that. Stepping stones. Now, think back to those comprehension questions we did. They really made you think, right?
Yeah, it wasn't just about finding the one right answer.
It was about really paying attention, connecting the dots, the detail.
Exactly. And that active listening, that critical thinking, that's essential for really understanding English. It's not enough to just recognize words. You have to process them, think about them, use them in different ways.
It's like a mental workout.
Yes, exactly. And the more you work those mental muscles, the stronger your English gets. You know, it's funny, this whole conversation about diet, it's a perfect analogy for language learning.
Oh, how so?
Well, think about it. A balanced diet, you need variety, right? Different nutrients. It's the same with language. You need a variety of input, different sources, different styles of communication.
So not just textbooks.
Exactly. And portion control. With food, it's about being mindful of how much you consume. With language, it's about not overwhelming yourself, taking things step by step, learning at a pace that works for you.
Don't try to cram everything in at once.
All right. And consistency. We talked about this. It's the key to success with anything. Just like sticking to a healthy eating plan leads to results, consistent language practice builds fluency over time.
Show up every day, even if it's just for a few minutes.
Exactly. And finally, remember those nutritious alternatives, swapping out the junk food for the good stuff. Well, it's the same with language input. Choose quality materials, things that are engaging, informative, enjoyable.
So ditch those boring textbooks if they're not working for you.
Find things you actually like, and you'll learn so much faster. You know, it's funny. All of these ideas, they're baked into a program we've talked about before, CAS English.
Oh, yeah. That's right, CAS English. They use real-life conversations, just like the one we've been analyzing.
Exactly. And they have all those tools to help you practice, get feedback, track your progress.
So if you're serious about leveling up your English, especially your conversational skills, definitely check them out.
Couldn't agree more. Well, that wraps up our deep dive into this healthy eating dialogue. And honestly, it's been a deep dive into how we learn language effectively. I hope you found it as insightful as I have.
Me too. I always learn so much from these conversations with you. And thank you to all our listeners for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've picked up some valuable tips, some new vocab, and maybe even some inspiration to keep pushing forward on your English learning journey.
Absolutely. Keep practicing, stay curious, and remember, fluency is a journey, not a destination. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Thanks for joining the conversation here at CAS English. We hope you found it fun and informative. Don't forget to check out kazapp.uk. That's kazapp.uk for more tips, resources, and interactive practice. Keep exploring, keep chatting, and we'll catch up with you again soon.